Hello, Revere, and welcome to another show. Today I have a special guest, the former Councillor At-Large and a 32-year veteran of the Revere Fire Department. John, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay, John, before we start, tell us a little about yourself.
I was born in Boston and grew up in Revere. Lived in Revere all my life. I'm a product of the Revere school system. Graduated Revere High School in 1965. And I'm a graduate of Northeast Institute of Industrial Technology in Boston, and I majored in industrial electronics. After that, I took the fire exam, and I got appointed in 1972 to the Revere Fire Department. And I served 32 years in the fire department, and I retired in 2003 as a lieutenant.
Tell us some of the exciting things about you being on the fire department for a little while.
The fire department is a great career for someone that's interested in helping people in public safety, and it was a good fit for me because it's a type of job when you come to work, you never know what's going to happen. You have a different situation. You can have a building fire, you can have an automobile fire or a medical aid, but the job is very rewarding, especially when you save somebody's life or you save somebody's property. And I take great pride in the fire department. I love the fire department, all the guys I worked with. I put 32 years of dedicated service. I put my life on the line, and I feel I accomplished a lot, especially in the city of Revere.
Right, John, and I want you to tell the people down in Texas and Louisiana, your fire department brothers, give them a big
Yeah, we're all part of the same international union, and they're great guys. No matter where I go in the country, when you tell them you're retired from the fire department, whether it's New York or down in Texas, you come in the station with open arms. They ask me to have dinner. They want to talk about Boston. They love Boston. I talk about the Boston Fire Department a lot to them because we have mutual aid with Boston. And they told me Boston is known for their ladder work. Boston's a great fire department, especially for ladder work. And they call Revere all the time for assistance. And I've been there for many, many of their big fires to help them out.
Right, John. And I would like to thank the police department down in Texas and in Louisiana for the great job they do. So you people do both a great job.
I do want to say my prayers and thoughts are for everybody in Texas, the people that lost their homes and lost their lives. And I made a little donation. I hope everyone from Revere makes a little donation to help them out because no matter a disaster like that could happen here. You never know.
Well, we did have the snowstorms. Did have the hurricane?
Yeah, we had the blizzard of '78, the hurricane. It was a different type of disaster, but still it was a disaster.
And the people did a great job, the fire department.
Everybody works as a team.
Right,
That's
John.
what it's about. I love working as a team with other people. You're out there accomplishing the same thing. The thing is, you're helping people. And I get satisfaction of helping somebody, saving their property or saving their life.
Right. Good, John. Now, tell us a little about your education and if you were in the Army or the military or community, whatever.
I'm a graduate of Revere High School in 1965, the old Revere High School. We didn't have the technology like we have today. And I graduated Northeast Institute, a technical school, and I majored in industrial electronics. And after that, I worked at MIT as a research technician in electronics. And from then on, I decided to run for school committee. And I got elected to the school committee for 6 years. And that was an accomplishment. In the school committee, I had a chance to establish a policy manual that they never had, and I kind of copied what they had in the other city, and we have a policy manual in the school department because of me, that I did all the research.
And what is that manual about?
It talks about protocol, how to conduct yourself, and different things like that, mannerisms and stuff in the school department.
Very good, John, very good. Now, what made you decide, because you were a former counselor, you had a nice, peaceful, quiet life after you left. What made you decide to go back for re-election?
Number one, I got to say my best friend and Bob Hass, who was a former mayor, I campaigned for him for Councillor At-Large, and I campaigned for him for mayor. We were very close. We go out to lunch together, and he was a close friend. And I had no intentions of really running for it, and then he passed away, and I saw an opening, and I felt I wanted to still do something for the community for public service. And I didn't like the way the city was going in certain areas, and I feel I can make a difference because of my experience. My experience of living here, experience of being on the fire department, being familiar with all of the different wards in the city, and I feel I could make a difference on there and help put the city in a more prospective direction. A new vision, I should say. I think Revere needs a new vision the way it's going, and I think I can help in that direction.
John, when you first came into the fire department, what was it like then compared to what it is like now? And what would you like to see in the future for your fire department, or the City of Revere too?
The fire department back then, you didn't have computers, and the apparatus was all open cab. You didn't have air conditioning. When you went out in the wintertime, the apparatus was all open. Today, you have more large buildings. It's more complex. Everything is computer narrated. The apparatus today is bigger. It's different. The technology, there's more technology today. We never had anything like that. And so the fire department's got to be a big factor today.
John, does every fireman have a GPS system on them when they go into a building, so in case something happens, they know exactly where they are?
They have what they call a pathfinder. If they stop for a certain amount of time, an alarm will go off, and they'll know about it right away in the headquarters. Everybody wears one of these pathfinders, which we never had before. And then the air masks that we have now are 1 hour, and they used to be 30 minutes. And we used to have another mask called a Chemox. They were kind of it wasn't a mask too healthy for firefighters. Now the technology with the air mask and what we wear, it's very good. It's very good and healthy for firefighters, and helps keep firefighters cancer-free. That's the most important.
Definitely. And I have to tell you this, my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, was a fireman in Canton, and he died of lung cancer.
Right.
From inhaling the smoke and the insulation that they used to have in the buildings. When the building burnt, they had
Right.
that insulation there.
Right.
So
well, today a lot of the buildings are not like years ago. They're all different types of plastics. Even the furniture, they all give off chemical smoke, which is dangerous.
Right. So you go in with a mask on, with a...
You have to have a mask on unless you'll die if you've taken any of that kind of smoke.
And talking about fire and fire stations, John, there is one, I believe, down in the Point of Pines, and I'm not sure whether it's open or closed. Can you elaborate on that a little for us?
Yeah, if I'm on the city council, I'm going to push to open that fire station. That's very important to the far end of the city, the Point of Pines area. Right now, we have major traffic gridlock that's just unbelievable. Even with a siren, with an apparatus going down the Pines, it's not going to do anything because the traffic, there's no place for the traffic to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a motion to be able to open the fire station. If somebody stops breathing, you only have minutes before you have oxygen or you have EMTs on the scene. And it takes sometimes 10 minutes for an apparatus to respond to the traffic. So I'm going to be looking for major traffic study. Working with local and state officials. We may need some road reconstruction. We may need traffic light adjustments, but we need major analysis of traffic, not only on the North Shore Road and beach area, but Broadway. It took me almost 3/4 of an hour today to get down Broadway. I mean, if you have a fire or a medical aid, I mean, there's going to be a delay, and you're talking people's lives at stake. So we need to try to improve as much as we can with traffic flow throughout the entire city.
How long has the Point of Pines been closed, if you have any idea?
Oh, it's been closed 20 years.
So if a person has a fire in that area,
You have to wait for engine 5 to get down there.
and they come from where?
They're from Freeman Street and North Shore Road. And if they take North Shore Road, you got people coming home from Boston, Ted Williams Tunnel, the MBTA, they're getting out. It'll be forever by the time they get there. You need that fire station open.
And you will make sure that it does get over.
Yeah, and the city's growing now. We have more apartment buildings, which I'm against. We don't need any more apartment buildings, draw more cars. It takes up the school system with children. It's just causing, the apartments are causing major gridlock. And the apartments, I'll emphasize on the apartments, they're all wood. They're tinder boxes. There's no law requiring them to use fire-rated materials so they can build what they want. And the thing is you have a fire in one of those buildings, a high-rise. Myself in the fire department, high-rise fires are the most difficult to fight, and they're more difficult to get water up to the upper floors. And so I'm going to push to review the building codes and see if we can upgrade to more steel and concrete for high-rise and large apartment buildings or hotels. But I'm against any more apartment buildings. I'm looking for hotels, restaurants, and shops to come out through the beach and be more accommodating to families and children.
John, I have to ask you this here. You know where Shaw's used to be? Shaw's supermarket?
Right.
Their building is, I believe, 6 stories there, which is about 60 feet.
Right.
How high do the ladders go off the fire truck, if I may ask?
Well, if the conditions are perfect and the ladder truck is closest to the building, you could go up to about at least 10 stories.
Oh, you can?
Right. But the conditions have to be right. If the further the ladder truck is away from the building, that's less floors you can
Right.
go up.
Right.
So, I mean, I had a ladder truck once. I only could get up to the 8th floor because we were too far away from the building, because the landscape, there's walls, there's trees, a lot of stuff like that. So we couldn't get that close to the building. So if conditions are right, 10 stories, but that's kind of like really not good right now.
The law space today, the higher the building goes up, that the things that go into the building to make it, the walls, the structure, is non-flammable material?
Well,
Or are they just...
Well, what they're building now is just all particle board and wood. I mean, those are matchbox. They'll go up. They'll go. You saw what happened in Waltham, and you saw what happened in New Jersey. The whole complex just went.
Right.
It's not only a danger to residents. It's a danger to firefighters, that we have to fight them, and also construction people. If your construction people are in the building and it's all wood, there's no sprinkler. There's nothing to put it out, and it'll go up fast because of the fire-rated materials are low. So I want to be able to work with the fire department, the building department, zoning, all the different departments to see if we can upgrade building materials and fire-rated materials.
That would be very good, John.
Yeah.
And you would want to see that be put into a building code.
Right. That we have a safer city. Right now, there's no law requiring them. They could do what they want, you know, and a lot of those laws are outdated. So we also need to petition to the legislature to change the state building codes besides the city ordinances. But what we can do, if a developer comes before the council, we can request that he can upgrade the construction materials, add that in as conditions to the building, to the building of the building. We can do that.
That's very good. Now, John, I just want to change the subject a little. You were in the Army Reserves.
6 years, 373rd General Hospital Group. We were located at South Boston Army Base.
And exactly what did you do there while you were in there?
I was in the infantry part and motor pool. I drove a deuce and a half infantry, and we went up to Camp Drum, New York, every year for 2 weeks. And I did my training at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
That's where I took mine too, by the way.
Right.
Right outside of Trenton.
Right.
And Camp Drum, I believe, is right outside of Watertown, New York.
Right.
Yep. So we have a lot in common, John.
Yeah, my father's retired. He was retired. He's passed away now, but he got a Silver Star, Bronze Star of World War II.
Your dad did?
Yeah, he was on Guadalcanal in Bougainville.
Oh, in the Pacific there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my father met General MacArthur, and he told my father, after the war was over, there were so many Americans killed. He said to my father, I never forgot that, he goes, you don't know what something is worth until you pay for it. And we paid with thousands of American lives at those islands.
Right, especially the one in the Philippines when they had the Bataan Death March.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, it was very tough. It was today you have technology, but it's still tough today. Instead of jungles, you got buildings that you have to seek out the enemy. That's even worse.
I know that. You know, I got to tell you, during the World War II, I was not there, but in the Battle of Stalingrad, which was the Russian part of the war,
Right.
there was building to building fighting, and it was the toughest thing there because the snipers could be hiding there.
Right.
Booby traps were set there. If you opened the door, boom, you got killed.
Right.
Yep, so the same thing went on. You had the Japanese, what they call the kamikazes.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So your dad is a great American hero. Was
Yeah.
a great American
Yeah, they're
hero.
going to be dedicating a sign for my father in Everett, where he grew up. My mother grew up in Revere.
When is that going to be?
It's going to be towards the end of September. It's going to be near
This year?
Yeah, near Glendale Park.
Very
I'll
good.
let you know about it.
Right?
Yeah, the Everett Veterans Administration are putting a sign up for my dad because he grew up in Everett.
That's good. I wish he was alive so I could thank him for his service. So
Yeah.
may you rest in peace.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, John. Let's talk a little about your family. You're married, I assume?
No, still single. I have a girlfriend in New York and Brooklyn.
That's where I come from, Brooklyn. I hope it
Yeah.
isn't one of my ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
So you talk. Did you have any brothers or sisters? Or
Yeah,
that,
I got two sisters. One
that were in the service too?
No.
And what did they do?
One of them retired teacher.
From Revere?
Yeah, and the other one retired from West Newbury Public Schools as an administrator.
That's fairly good, John.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me. Talk about the developments that you would really like. Let's say you were the mayor of the City of Revere and you could do anything you wanted. What would you do at Suffolk Downs and what would you do at the Wonderland racetrack?
Well, the first thing I would have subcommittees with the city council, and being the mayor, I would have all the councilors and the developers together, and work together to see what we could put there. Something on a hotel or an office park, a professional office park, stores, shops, but no more apartments. The people have really fed up with the apartments. We would work on trying to put something for children, recreation for children, restaurants, shops, and keep the nostalgia of Revere Beach alive with the hotels on the beach. I mean, to keep the olden days of Revere Beach, keep it alive, show the children what it was back then.
You think things like Sandy's Rise or the
Right,
Hippodrome
and
will ever come back?
It won't come back, but we can keep it alive, but keep the memory alive, either with photos or something that people want to donate, and keep it right into the hotel, into the lobby area, to see what, have every hotel with that nostalgia.
So if people have pictures like, let's say, 50, 60, or 100 years ago, they could donate it to the Historical Society.
Right, and you can incorporate that on the beach.
Exactly.
When people come to Revere Beach.
Yep, because Revere Beach is the oldest beach in the United States.
Right, and I mean, I'm looking to, we're lucky. We have a beautiful beach, and I'm not knocking Somerville. Somerville has a great project, but we're better. We're better because we have a beautiful beach, and we can incorporate a lot of that nice development on Revere Beach, like the Seaport area in Boston. We can do that. I mean, people that come for conventions, they could come to Revere and come there, and the hotels, you know, they'll have function rooms for conventions and other things like that. But we need to stop the apartment buildings and especially union work. These developers are bringing people from out of state. I want Revere residents and I want union labor incorporated with the conditions of the building of the project. I mean, Revere residents are not getting a break, and they're not offering anything really to Revere. Once they build the building, they're gone, and then we're stuck with the mess.
That's true. That's true. Now, John, you also mentioned that when you were on the city council, they were building new schools. Can you tell us a little about them? I mean, most of them are all built already.
Yeah, I voted for 4 new schools. A lot of it was federally funded, most of it. So that was the Susan B. Anthony Wayland School. I supported that. I supported the Rumney Mass Academy, the Paul Revere School, and I mean, at least those 3 schools, and then the McKinley School I voted for.
And the New Hill School that went up?
The Hill School, which is the McKinley School.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, so they get...
So I supported 4 new schools. Education's important. We want to make sure our young people keep up with technology, what other cities are going on. And what I want to see too, I can see into the future, I like to see bi-monthly meetings with other city councilors from other cities and school committee and see what they're doing in their city where we can maybe incorporate some of those ideas in Revere, see how they're doing it. So I like to get together with other councilors from other cities, maybe every 2nd month, and have everybody, whether it's Everett, Malden, or Boston, and get the ideas of how they're going about development and what they're doing in their school system compared to what we're doing. So I like to see more of an intercity communication with other cities. Just like you have mutual aid. We go, if there's a multiple alarm, we're over there in Chelsea, we go full force, and Chelsea does the same thing when they come here. Everybody helps one another. So this is America. It's a great country. I'm proud to be an American, and if I get on the council, I will do everything I can to make Revere a better place, and I'll always be open-minded to the neighborhoods, the needs of the neighborhoods, of what they need. And I'd be there for safety and to protect the public the best I could.
John, according to what I just was reading here while you were busy talking, when the firemen go into a building that's a heavy fire, not all of them have fireproof uniforms, and I thought they were supposed to.
Yeah, most of them are fireproof today. Yeah,
today they are?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Before, years ago, there used to be a rubber coat.
Right.
And they didn't have bunker pants. You had jeans on. You had a rubber coat, and you went in and you just had jeans and the boots. Now you have bunker gear. That's all supposed to be fireproof. We have the same type of bunker gear as New York City. And you have to wear headgear and everything to protect the back of your head, because in case you have a spontaneous ignition as a blowback with fire, the heat can get the back of your neck. So you have to wear protection around your head and that besides your helmet.
There was a couple of fires which I saw on TV, and they were sad because the captain told the firemen they could not go in to rescue the people, even though they heard them screaming, because it was too dangerous for the fire department. What determines that danger, if I may ask you?
If you get there and the building is fully involved.
It was fully involved.
Yeah, fully involved. There's no way you could get in there. It's,
but they could hear the people screaming for help.
I know. You try to get in there, but it's just difficult. You know, you have to resort to an exterior attack, heavy stream, deck guns, to try to get a massive amount of water to try to knock down the heavy fire.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Now, John, we have about 3.5 minutes left. There was something on here that I wrote, and I can't. It says Revere High, 1965. Tell us about that.
I graduated high school in 1965, which was the old high school. As a matter of fact, when I was working at the station, I had the fire at the old high school I couldn't believe it. I said, there's a school I went to, and I'm responding to a fire. Fire was in the auditorium, and it was too far gone.
Wasn't there a Walcott school? Not, or was it the Walcott school?
Yeah, there was a Walcott school, yeah.
That burned?
Yeah, it burned too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that burned in the summertime. It was a hot, hot night. That was fully involved.
I know.
Building.
My son went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, times have changed. So, now that we talked about the schools, oh, I know you're not a senior yet, are you? You're over 60.
I just turned 70.
Oh, did
I
you?
don't like it, but what am I going to do? I don't feel it, but
No, but I just turned 88, and I do feel it, believe you me, I do. John, we would like the people who have served the city, who are seniors, to come down to our senior center, have breakfast with us, talk to us, and tell us a little about themselves. Wouldn't that be, don't you think that's a good idea?
I think it's a very good idea.
So the next time you go to a council meeting, tell all those seniors there, it's just up
We
by.
got a lot of seniors on
Yeah,
the
then
council.
we can show them what we need at the senior
Right.
center, and they can help us
Right.
out. That's what I would like.
Yeah, yeah.
So, are you going to be coming down to visit us soon, I hope?
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be down there.
And when you're down there, take a good look at the railing outside that we can use to be fixed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
They're still talking about it.
yeah that's
I
right.
know. We got a lot of lip service, but no actual service. And the parking lot in the back, you know, it'd be nice to get those because, you know, people do trip. And old folks trip more than young folks.
Right, yeah, especially someone up in age, they trip and your bones don't heal as like a young person.
You're right. You're right, John. So anyway, I want to tell you that we got about a minute left, so take about 50 seconds to wrap it up.
I just want to say is I love the city of Revere. I like the people. I've been out door to door, and people have been so receptive. They said, John, we need you back on the council. And I said, I'm going to do everything I can. And if I'm elected, I'll always be a good listener. And I'll always do the right thing, safety-wise, for the city. And I'll always pay attention, each neighborhood, whether it's the Pines or Beachmont, the neighborhoods come first. If they don't want something, I will support the neighborhood.
Right, John, and I want to say thank you for taking the time off to come down and visit us here. Thank you, God bless you, and good luck to you.
Okay, thank
and
you.
God bless the people of Revere, God bless our great city, and God bless our great country, the United States of America, and all the people in the military. Thank you.